Um, okay. Got a lot of prep. Just started, had a great conversation with Michael today, by the way. We talked for, I'm pretty sure, over an hour. I can't really remember now, but it was a great conversation. Maybe it was 50 something minutes, but I'm very tired. I slept like 15 hours, then got up, got some sun, a little bit, well, an hour. You don't get much sun in Florida this time of year, the way it's angled, because it's so far away from us. It's circling the outer circle. But then ate, laid down. I was texting Michael everything I'm finding from Back to the Future, and fell asleep for like 2 hours. And every time I touch my phone, I started wondering if all the selenium, the boron, the zinc, does that make me more connected, or I don't know, but man, I feel like it's zapping my energy. I think they're cranking everything up big time. And so we just have to be careful. For me, it's stay off your phone. Man. And when I talk to Michael, I talk on my landline, or I would be using my speaker anyway. But what a great chat. We just have so much in common as far as our walk to how we got here. For us, it both began in 2012. We both followed Alex Jones. We both were maybe wondering if Trump was the man that was going to, turn everything upside down, but we both had our questions. I think he stayed with it a little longer than I did, just because, and he said he was very, very political at one point in his life, and I think very right wing, and I think that probably kept him in the situation, because they do just do such a good job of, well, I tell you what he was seeing. I didn't bring it up, and I did have a hard time hearing Michael. There were sometimes like a whole sentence I wouldn't hear almost, but then I could pick back up on what was going on. And but when they told us to stay in our homes, I don't like to use the LD word because you can get flagged. But when that whole process began, Michael was out. He was out, and soon after I started doing YouTube videos, and the Lord just put us together. I mean, and I had gone back to my old ways of not posting much on Facebook, trying to, kind of stay in level with the world. And when the LD began, I started going nuts on Facebook and going nuts at work. And because I was at a new job and I wasn't going to tell anybody at work. And I think at this new job I'm at, I'm not going to say anything no matter what. But it was just a great chat. So from YouTube, good long conversations with Justin, met Justin in person, talked to Justin from time to time. And Jamie, talked to Jamie numerous times, and now I finally got to talk to Michael, so that's good. Vanessa sends me a lot of stuff on Facebook, so we're close over there. Did I cover all of this? We did get into that. Okay. Gobbler's Knob, Puxatawny, Pennsylvania roadside. Take 36 1/4 mile. So 36 is 666 East 2119. I will tell you something. From texting back and forth with Michael today, and then I fell asleep, got into a deep sleep. I've come up with January 19th, and it is 911 backwards. And The Dark Knight Rises came out on July 20th. The Dark Knight came out on the 18th. So that 19th date sits right in the middle of the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises release dates. If you go across the calendar, if the calendar is a complete circle. But more importantly, the Dark Knight Rises kept coding us 121, 121, 121, 121, 121. And if you go down on 119 and you rise on the third day like Jesus did, and they will tell you, you know, he went down on a Friday and rose on a Sunday. I'm not clear on any of it. I'm not clear on his age. When he died, I'm not clear exactly when he went down. We know he went down at Passover, with the Passover celebration. But Friday was a day of preparation, and they say that for the Jews, they would not have done it then either, that it more likely would have been on a Thursday. And at that point, does he rise before the sun rises? Because it seems like Mary and them visited at sunrise and he was already gone. So, and there, the Jewish day starts at sunrise. So if he was to rise on the third day, and the Jews count 1 minute of a day counts as a whole day. So if he goes down on 119, that's one day. You include that day. Then there's a 20th, and then on the third day, he would rise 121. I believe that is a Wednesday for the train wreck of the Addams family. January 2022 calendar. That would surely be on a Wednesday, which is the name of the girl in the Addams family, and the Addams family is the train wreck. It's constantly featuring the train wreck. Yeah, so it's you know, it's big. It's big. Michael and I come up with so much stuff. There's so many days. He made the comment, we're starting to look at every day in January as being a watch day. But we also talked about how we're watching every day, all the way through 2024 if we have to. So Gobbler's Knob, I do need to look at that gematria, or if Michael wants to take a look at it for sure. He seems to really have a spiritual feel for the gematria. It really does. Shark Tank, Beast Out of the Sea. And of course, we're in the Illuminati Club, clearly giving us. Michael said school bus is 33 in full reduction. Well, maybe that's why they keep just showing the school buses then, and matches Holocaust, which is, you know, the how do I say this? Try to be careful how I say things on YouTube. The true JEW is the true church. Plain and simple. We're grafted in. We are known as grafted in JEWSs. That's straight out of Romans 11. Oh, and I said, killing the real church. Yep. Makes total sense. Wow. Thank you, Michael. Okay. So I appreciated him checking out that whole school bus deal. I was wondering. Your mention, Jamie said your mention of the Army Black Knights. The U.S. Army was founded on Trump's birthday, June 14th. And he's the Dark Knight. And their team is called the Black Knights. And they were founded on his birthday. And with his army and all of that military around him, he goes, maybe it's just the calm before the storm. And of course, the storm is World War III. June 14th is also Flag Day. Good stuff. Thank you, Jamie, for that. And it was interesting when I looked at that because there's that 74, which is the next progression from the 37 through the portal. And that landed on, you know, whose birthday, the October 28th birthday. So guess who's sporting black and white checkered flooring on their PJs? Our favorite illuminist. And some of your basic, now his job for the Illuminati is to be the Christian that lives totally in their world. The fake Christian, with the pretending Christian. And you remember the pose he was, and she's a beard and he's wearing a beard. That's not a real relationship. That's all I can tell you. His commercial about the curve, that was such a dead giveaway. That he's afraid of the curve. And yeah. Michael said, I Got You Babe matches the End Times, Number of a Man, and Soundgarden, who did Black Hole Sun in all 4 ciphers. And that's why he included Black Hole Sun. And The End Is Nigh, which happens to match I Got You Babe and Soundgarden as well. And Soundgarden and Black Hole Sun, there is a prominently featured sign that says The End Is Nigh. So Michael really picked up on that. That was really strong. Good stuff there, Michael. Thank you for that. The B side, It's Gonna Rain, Tribulation, World War III. So there's a possibility he goes down any day. He can go down tomorrow. And they do have a 1227 that flips to 1228. And remember, I couldn't tell if my first date with Ms. October 28th, where I represented her 88, 2 different ways, or 2 different ciphers that I go by, where the Lord showed me to go by. I don't use their world of gematria, numerology, anything. This is something I came up with on my own math. And we showed you that the Lord had put me into numbers since I was a child. And I was always wearing 24 as a kid, all the way up through, and then wanted it in high school, but a childhood friend had 24 because I didn't join the team till my senior year. Ended up starting. That's the only reason I went out, because I knew I could. But I was big time pothead, but I straightened out a lot my senior year. Even though I still, but I had a steady girlfriend then. That's why, but, I corrupted her more than she made me straight. I mean, she was a sophomore, I was a senior. So what are you going to do? And, but World War III, no matter when it goes down. Oh, but my first date with Ms. October 28th was on the 27th or the 28th. I'm pretty sure the 28th. So I was finishing my thought there. And there's a lot of stuff I've left out in this movie, Back to the Future, that relates to she and I. Some of it I'll share. World War III, though, see, World War III could begin at a lot of the other things we find. It might not mean that's his offing date. That might mean the next seal. And I think we talked about that in our latest video. I think I've already got these. Yeah, I got these sent to me. Heidi game equals 61. Interesting, 1961 was Eisenhower's speech on, called in the military industrial complex, but clearly talking about the Illuminati. So they're in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government, and their influence is political, economic, and even spiritual. And it's very spiritual, their influence on a satanic level. And they also have taken over all of church. You can't go into a church today and get the truth. So their influence is very spiritual in either direction. And it was also the year that JFK made the speech. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are opposed to secret societies, secret oaths, secret meetings. And he goes on to talk about how they can sequester anything. They could put anything to bed. And it was the year I was born. Heidi game comes to 61, which comes to, 61 and 82, which is a doubles or 61, 182, and 47, which is a triple match for Fake Death, Palm Beach. Now, if they're pushing us to the Heidi game for his assassination, you can go back to January 8th, where Michael finds these hitting also, I think. So these all bounce off of each other. Really, like when he's going to be in Palm Beach, I forget, is that when he's making his January 6th speech? I mean, I'm really high on the second, the third, the fifth, really big on the third for, I forget the reasons. I had the reasons, I've forgotten them, but it is the third day of the year and the third month of the year, which is your 33 coding. But it is on a till Tuesday. No, it's on a Monday. That's what it was. It's on a Monday, and it's also the day that what's his name says he goes effing Mondays, effing Monday, eh? While his arm was bleeding in Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado. So I really like January 3rd. I like the 2nd because of Donnie Darko. Now, another reason I like the 3rd, it's a progression of the 2nd. That Donnie Darko's October 2nd represented the twin Trumps going down, and the next day would be the next offing. So I really like the 3rd. I like the 5th. I like the 7th because of the 7-7 coding, 7th day of the year, 7th day of the month. And there were some other reasons on that. I can't remember now. But Michaels really likes the 8th, and I liked everything he put about the 8th. That was big too. One reason to like the 5th is because the next day we know that people will hit the streets, and that's when they hit the streets last year at the, the big incident on January 6th last year. So thank you, Michael, for that. That was big. Maggie May. Wake up, Maggie. It's late September, and I really should be back at school. Michael said, this is madness. 11/17 Heidi Bowl. Yeah, the Heidi Bowl happened on the deadly wound. And Groundhog Day featured Heidi 2, which means deadly wound, or the Heidi Bowl 2, or the deadly wound. He says this information is gained nowhere else. That was pretty fascinating statement. 75 points were scored in the Heidi game. Trump is 75 until his supermoon birthday this year. Raiders won 43-32. Well, 43 through the portal. 33 through the portal. You got to love that 33. 33 days through the portal is day 43 and is February 12th. I think he could go down on that day, but not die until towards the end of the Super Bowl, and they preempt the Super Bowl. Again, the Heidi Bowl, as the Heidi Bowl did. They started the movie Heidi while the game was still going on. Ever since then, they quit doing it. They would show a game and run the programming late. They would always show the end of a fake staged NFL game. But in that particular game, they started it on time. And everybody was mad because it was the Jets playing the Raiders. And we know the Jets hitting the Twin Trumps was the original 911. And they were playing the Raiders, and the Raiders have the right eye darkened. So you really can't get much stronger than that symbology. And it's a Saturday, Sunday matinee. And Saturday and Sunday, of course, Sunday is the Super Bowl. So now, by the way, Back to the Future is 1 hour, 56 minutes, 00 seconds. 156. This is Super Bowl 56 coming up. So that Super Bowl weekend is extremely strong. I am now really big on January 19th because of its 911 backwards and from the Fahrenheit 11/9 movie, which is when he was elected. 119, January 19th. But especially on the third day is day 121, when he would theoretically rise on the third day, and the Dark Knight Rises had 121 coded throughout. So it's just super big. Steve Schmitz had something really strong. He said, the state and technology are working together to enslave human. Oh, this is not the strong statement. He had another strong statement. I said, Stephen, we believe strongly this is all biblical. Everything is fitting perfectly. This is run by Ephesians 6:12, the AI that goes to the machine. His deadly wound kicks off World War III. He'll return, the Great Tribulation. It won't last long. Jesus cuts those days that are listed short, or no flesh will be saved. Stay with us. The rest of the YouTube is corrupted, controlled opposition. They have high numbers of subs. And we'll tell you the truth, but will never be biblically correct and always take you down that wrong rabbit hole. He said the state and technology are working together to enslave humanity. It's way bigger than that. The storm is coming. Oh, this was something I just wanted to say. The storm coming is not the Great Tribulation. That's the four horses. The storm coming is the four horses. The whole peace and safety thing is the Great Tribulation. Trump will put an end to false flag stage World War III and the fake stage global warming. He'll put an end to all of that and declare peace around the world, declaring himself to be God. But when you see these things in Judea, flee, don't even go inside, for your sudden destruction to all sheep will come. And thankfully, the Lord cuts those days short, or no sheep would be alive upon his return. So I see people all the time on YouTube or whatever get a lot of that confused. So I was just kind of figured I'd throw that out. This might be giants in this group. Nanobots. Yeah, and who was that was making giants? What company is making giants? They were making these large, gigantic, and see what you could do is through a cloning mark of the beast process, worshiping the image of the beast process. We would then have giants back on the earth, killing sheep also. How crazy is that? If I didn't get that right, though, Michael, just text me on it. We're going to really try to stay in touch now. Michael and I, for sure. February 12th, I did some gematria on, so we'll be getting into that soon. I do have some Back to the Future videos to get to. A lot of these are new. I mean, are old, but they popped up new because I had them hidden and I published them. So they would publish as if they were brand new. But if we were to get onto the Back to the Future videos, by the way, I use Telling Truth 3. It is going to be a backup channel in case 2 gets shut down for 14 days. But all my movie uploads come here. And videos I share on maybe for Facebook only, stuff y'all already know I put here. Like I have a 15-minute one the other day. This is 115/8. 1:15 a.m. And perhaps he goes down on January 15th in the AM. But he might not die until the 19th. And that's when you hit the 8s. There's 8s everywhere, which is time travel. So at 1:15 in the morning, or in the morning on January 15th, they're telling you that's when he's going down. This movie and The Dark Knight Rises tell you he's going down on the 15th. Doesn't mean that's correct. That's what they want you to think. Rightly or wrongly. Well, I'll be. Yeah, I need to use a little more finesse with that, don't I? I need to open them up in a new. Yeah. The clock's going to switch from 12:27, which is tomorrow, to 12:28. Sure enough is. Now, that was the same clock. Did y'all notice that? That I showed y'all in Groundhog Day. '88, '92, '53. I was her '88. My next marriage is '53. I mean, am I supposed to marry somebody physically? I've wondered. Or is that just my marriage to Christ? You just don't know what's going to go on. When it comes to the Lord, be ready for anything. I mean, straight up. Now you're going to see the clock at 1:15 for January 15th, maybe. Switch then to 1:16. It's still, and the twin Trumps are still up, which makes me think he's not going down then. The twin Trumps are up. But then you're going to see Einstein under the penny. Einstein was wise, and there's that whole Pennywise thing. Pennywise. And they're giving you the Pennywise. Pennywise. Well, why is the dog wise? Because his name's Einstein. Einstein was supposed to be the wisest man on earth, other than King Solomon. The more modern day, smartest man ever, wisest man ever, Einstein. So to me, they're giving you Pennywise, which was really big in Stephen King, I think the It. And see, it turns to 1:16, and those twins are still up, which makes me think it's not the 15th, it's not the 16th, but it could be. What was it I wanted to gematria? Brown mansion collapse or something like that. I think I sent it to Michael maybe. So when he,
I'm standing on the parking lot.
so when he goes back to the, we know the Dark Knight Rises. When Einstein comes back, or Pennywise comes back, and we think Pennywise is Trump, it's out of time. The temporal displacement occurred at exactly 1:20. So if he goes down on the 19th, temporal displacement.
1:20 a.m. in 0 seconds.
And you're out of time by January 20th. And he says, Jesus Christ. Really makes me think he's going down on the 19th. But you watch Groundhog Day, I really think he's going down on the 12th. So it gets very, very difficult. They're throwing way too much at us on purpose. They knew we would be doing all of this that we're doing. I mean, the sheep are known to the fallen angels. You don't disguise yourself to the fallen. The fallen angels, whether you ever utter a word in your life, they know who the sheep are. They absolutely know who the sheep are. And since God has ordained all things, has he allowed them to know who we would be in the end times and know what we would be doing? Because there's way too many, everything is scrambled. They have absolutely scrambled. And if you watch that movie, The Imitation Game YouTube clip, if you watch that movie, The Imitation Game, it's a riddle wrapped in an enigma.
This is your home.
Trying to figure out what, when Trump was going down, is a riddle wrapped in an enigma, was a line used in JFK. And it really is what it is we're trying to do. And in this movie, they're trying to break this Nazi code. And we all know that it was a very staged war, so we don't give these movies any credence whatsoever. As far as realism, just like Zero Dark 30 was a real life movie about the assassination of bin Laden. And then of course they dumped his body in the ocean. And we all know what a joke that was, with Obama and Hillary pretending. Obama and Hillary watching bin Laden assassination. I mean, these people are just wonderful actors, aren't they? Little Sleepy Joe. You got to give him Trump's name. I mean, Trump calls him Sleepy Joe. We got to call him Sleepy Joe. Robin. But these people are actors. I can pretend, I can do that all day. I could be extremely liberal. Give me the script. I can become that in 2 seconds. I can become extremely conservative. Just give me a role to play, I can play it. And so that's what they do. They play a role. That's all they do. The Situation Room. So I have no idea where I was here. Dinty Moore comes to Donald Trump. Dinty Moore comes to Donald Trump. Yes. It's fascinating. He shot the Dinty Moore can in the movie The Shooter. Dinty Moore comes to Donald Trump. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm just trying to get rid of stuff here. This was the Super Bowl that Doug Williams played in, January 31st. Remember, that's a high watch day for me, is New Year's Eve, Chinese New Year, based off iPad Goat. Michael sent this to me. And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of the spirit, for inasmuch wisdom is much grief, which that increase of knowledge and increase of sorrow. Let me read that better to you. I set out to learn everything from wisdom to madness and folly, you know, truth in God's word, truth of the world around us. But I learned firsthand that pursuing all this is like chasing the wind. The greater my wisdom, the greater my grief. Well, that's part of you coming out of the world. To increase knowledge only increases sorrow, or really, increases your ability also to come out of the world. We'll keep that. Let's keep going with these. All right, I was getting too cluttered up there. Did I finish this?
Einstein's proposition.
So 120 and 121, when that baby hit 88 miles per hour, that's when you saw some serious SHIT. That's him going down. And then you get January 20th and January 21st after the fact. Now he's returned. I mean, they're telling you it's the 19th in this movie. And I mean, they're not even trying to fake it. Okay, I guess that's everything from my uploads. Michael said the game is on February 13th. Super Bowl 56 comes to real Donald Trump. And that's his Twitter name. And we are about to see the real Donald Trump. Number of the beast. Super Bowl 56 comes to the number of the beast. The real Donald Trump now. You'll find out Trump's exact reply to reporters when they asked about the calm before the storm statement. The tribulation. So Super Bowl 56 comes to the tribulation. Currency reset. The term $ comes to 666. Well, that's what opens up iPad Goat. The $signs. 12/12/12. Excuse me, 12/12, which is midnight. And when my son and I went in opposite directions, 52 days from another day where me and my previous job went in opposite directions, and 52 days after that, the third 52 days later, it does fall exactly on Groundhog Day. The age of Aquarius. Now, I told Michael that the sun changes into Aquarius. The signs and dates of Aquarius. I don't know why I said the signs. January 20th. Okay. So when Trump would go down under an Aquarian sun, he would rise. Excuse me, when Trump would go down on a Capricorn sun, he would rise on an Aquarian sun, the sun signs. And it's an air sign, but they call it the water bearer. And he would be the beast out of the sea. So, you know, anything from January 20 through February 18th, that's definitely water bearer, beast out of the sea time. The age of Aquarius, New World Order, Stormy Daniels. Super Bowl 56 comes to Stormy Daniels for the coming storm. And the book of Daniel tells about the end times, of course, the coming storm. Dragons return. Storm is coming. President Joe Biden. And Michael's wondering if Biden could also have an event. And American president. I don't think there's any doubt that that's on the table, that, you know, you could have both leaders go down, which would, you know, exacerbate the rioting in the streets, so they can declare martial law, so they can shut down all of your social media, because they would say the social media is causing, is one of the causes of the unrest. And they would want people to stay focused and tunnel vision to state-run television with military on TV, of course. There it is. Halftime, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. You know, Snoop Dogg had the Snoop Dogg shooting Donald Trump photo. Is that a thumbnail for y'all? Begins with 58. I think that's got to be a thumbnail. It just doesn't seem like he would go down until that weekend, does it? Well, that's very fitting, because when you go to the Chronic playlist, I'm going to tell you, the Chronic playlist, that their song about Rodney King is exactly what would happen. Their song about Rodney King is exactly the day that N.W.A took over. So Dr. Dre, the day the niggas took over lyrics. If you're not down for the Africans here in the United States, period, point blank, if you're not down for the ones that suffered in South Africa from apartheid and stuff, you need to step your punk to the side and let us brothers and us Africans step in and start putting some foot in that ASS. Break them off something. I got my finger on the trigger. some N.W.A, wonder why, but living in the city, it's do or die. I wonder why I'm violent. And so that was all about the Rodney King. Me gun goes click, me gun goes bang. Them ride in Compton, them ride in Long Beach, them ride in LA, because them really don't want to see us start to shoot, police start, us start to loot and police start to shoot. Lock us down at 7, barricade us like Beirut. They're never gonna love me because it's sport to break them and kill at my own risk. If I may lay to spray my AK and put them to rest. See, this is what'll be going on. That's what this song was all about. Guarantee it.
If you ain't down for the Africans here, shit, then you need to step your punk ass to the side. Break them off, break them off. On hand, me not our peace, and me not Rodney King. Love me cause I'm going to rebel and kill at my own. So what you wanna do? What you wanna do? I said, how many niggas are ready to move? What you wanna do? I said, how many niggas are ready to move? What you wanna do? I said, how many niggas are ready to move? I said, how many niggas are ready to move?
You see, we've been saying since day one, the streets are going to be full, and they've always been talking about a race war. So, and there's a crown right there at the top of the logo, and a crown down there. So,
That's what they told us today. In other words, that's what they told us today. In other words, you're still a slave. No matter how much money you got, you still ain't shit. Sitting in my with the essay, something niggas time relation. Sitting in my living room, calm and collective, feeling that gotta get my perspective.
but you see, what I just heard, as far as Rodney King being found innocent, just broke me in half.
Cause what I just heard broke me in half, and half the niggas I know plus the niggas.
So when he goes down, you're going to see the exact opposite race hit the streets. And what Michael was surmising was, does Biden go down too? What does something happen with Obama? What do you think?
Cause on the road spelling, laugh now, but cry much later. You see, when niggas get together, they get mad cause they can't fade us.
Fade us means to kill us, or to, yeah. Very interesting that they are the halftime show. Very interesting that they are the halftime show. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I cannot even imagine. What are the chances? Because this is the only album Dre and Snoop Dogg did together. How many albums did Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg do together? Dr. Dre's debut solo album, The Chronic, which got, he's produced several tracks on Snoop, but that is the album that they did together from start to finish. Like
my niggas from South Central Los Angeles, they found that they couldn't handle us.
I wore this CD out. Wore it out in the 90s. Unbelievable. Because it was, you know, no, I couldn't deal with what they called rap music much after Snoop's first few albums. I don't listen, you know, I mean, you know, come on. But back then, yeah, I was.
Blood scripts on the same squad with the SA something niggas, time to rob and mob.
The next lyric is very interesting.
I'm the rob and mob and break your white man on something lovely.
When you break them off something, you're shooting them, killing them, doing something to them.
I don't love them, so them can't love me.
I don't love them, so they can't love me.
Yo, straight putting it down, getting my suit on, and jumping off and comping.
So anyway, that's very interesting. That's Super Bowl. I just can't believe they're going to be the halftime show. Just can't believe it. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Wow. That's just fascinating to me. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the new Inglewood. Yeah, because Michael was giving us some parameters about Inglewood and all that. It's 1001 address. It's at the 39th parallel. That's what he was saying. I mean, the 33rd parallel. Got a 53 right in the middle of it, don't they? They broke ground on November 17th, Michael. And y'all. The Deadly Wound Bible verse. God, you got to be kidding me. It's got to be that Super Bowl weekend, doesn't it? Boy, Back to the Future is really telling us this the 19th, in my opinion, the way I'm reading it. The venue of Super Bowl 56, SoFi Stadium, comes to Donald Trump and Jewish Gematria. Comes to the Dark Knight. A storm is coming in Jewish Gematria. Mother Mary. Well, I didn't take the picture of the Mary for Mary license tag in Back to the Future when Michael J. Fox and his girlfriend are walking early in the movie. But, you know, Shaking My Head Productions and other artificial intelligence sites have shown us that. And I'll tell you another AI site, Michael, is that Phineas Temporis YouTube site. XXLLX Phineas Temporis. And I wonder if that's why they use the Roman numerals, because it always was going to be about a Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if I'm putting that down right. There it is. That site there, 88 out of time, and they're giving you basically Super Bowl logo. And boy, do they ever, it's an AI site, and boy, do they ever break down movies. And there's Donald Trump, 119-911. Well, you're looking at January 19th right there. But you're also looking at Super Bowl right there. And you should go to that
scrape up a
website
down payment for
and just watch all of their videos. Yep. There's the 11/7/07 views for the wolf full moon. Real quick on this one, my friend sent this to me again with that. We got a 117 on this also. It'll probably change when I go to play it. But he comes out as Trump is Burns. He comes out as, and they're probably saying this is what Trump really looks like without the hair. I mean, I don't know. But Trump is Burns. He's the businessman. He's the boss, and he's evil. And he comes out as the abomination of desolation, Antichrist.
Now that I'm back to normal, I don't bring
Now that I've returned from the dead,
you peace and love. I
don't bring you peace and love. Because remember, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction upon the church, the sheep will come.
fear, famine, pestilence.
I bring you fear, famine, pestilence. Well, that's the four horses, actually.
I'm for a boost.
So I guess they kind of conflicted of what we tried to straighten out earlier was don't get the four horses confused with the peace and safety, confused with the great tribulation. So
Good morning, star.
more like Sleepy Joe. The real him can't wait to usher in the four horses. And but he pretends to be the left-wing hippie boy. Anyway, appreciate Vanessa sending that to me. That's just fascinating that it's broke ground on November 17th. It's just mind-boggling. They'll have the college football national championship game next year. Super Bowl 56 this year. If he didn't go down this year, I mean, good grief, what was all this stuff? But, you know, more tales will come. The venue for Super Bowl 56, SoFi Stadium. Oh, we've already read this. SoFi also comes to financial reset and image of the beast. So it comes to all of that. That's why they gave it that name, that crazy name. And you're like, well, that's the name of something. Yeah, but whatever that name is, SoFi Stadium is named after.
Here is some information for what's the name of the Rams' new stadium? According to SoFiStadium.com, SoFi Stadium is an unprecedented and unparalleled sports and entertainment destination built in Inglewood, CA, by Los Angeles Rams owner, Chairman E. Stanley Kroenke. The first indoor-outdoor stadium to be constructed, SoFi Stadium is the home of the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams.
Where did SoFi Stadium get its name? The stadium is located in Hollywood Park Entertainment Complex, Mission neighborhood, named after the former horse racing track that sat on the site. Got it. And all the world's a stage. Separately, the coronavirus age has been 56. Separately, the coronavirus age has been 56. I don't understand. The coronavirus age has been a 50. Oh, I don't know. What does it mean? The age has been a 56. The average age? Or how long they've discovered a coronavirus was discovered 56 years ago. It's right now at the age of 56. In full reduction, the following terms come to coronavirus or 56. All right, Anthony Fauci, Donald Trump, Donnie Darko, 911, and backwards, 119. Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, PSYOP, and they all wore the 88 jerseys. The Two Towers, Lone Pine Mall, Washington, D.C., Masonic Ritual, Morals and Dogma, book by Albert Pike, 56th. The Big Apple and power outage. Well, the thing about 56, you didn't, Trump Tower is 58 stories. So it just gets very interesting that, of course, that would be like, could represent the whole, when he returns as Mark of the Beast. So it's like steps of evolutionary steps towards becoming the Antichrist. And the 56th step is to receive the deadly wound. The 57th is to rise and to conduct World War III, and then 58 returns the Antichrist, which is what the whole Ghostbusters was about, the top, the top of the tower. Which in my opinion, they were fighting what everything is, what they really are set to do is to try to fight Jesus when he returns. Oh, Inglewood side of SoFi Stadium, 56 was incorporated on 2/14/1908. Wow, on Valentine's Day. It sits on the 33rd parallel, established in 1888. Population density. This is Inglewood, by the way. The city of Inglewood began on Valentine's Day at the 33rd parallel, established in 1888, 1888. Population density 11926. Again for November 19th. And don't forget Fahrenheit 11.9. Fahrenheit 11.9. And he's on a golf course. So is Jackrabbit Slim going to be playing golf on January 19th? But hey, I'm liking that Super Bowl weekend more and more. I liked it big time. I like it again. Inglewood, California comes to Great Tribulation. Queens, New York, Diamonds Are Forever. The Global Currency Reset, Jewish. Is there going to be a global currency reset? Not in my opinion whatsoever. I think these are things like that are psyops. Because just like that one person posted, they're trying to enslave us. No. They're going to pop him and give you World War III and then bring him back. And then you're just going to be either handed over to it. And just like Michael and I, the Lord called me really to the truth about who Trump was and the truth in his word about election predestination in 2017. But like, I kind of slept back into the world with no more harsh Facebook posts. I was trying to be buddies and friends with the world. I wasn't being too abrasive because I knew that even though I was graded out highly effective, I was removed from a PE job and moved over to ESE at a school. They said, oh, we're going down to 2 PE coaches and you're just, it's just a numbers thing. Sorry. And then as soon as I moved to a new school, they opened the job up and they hired a 3rd coach, which is how you get rid of teachers that have tenure. And so, but I knew I was running my mouth a lot at that school. So I knew, and to run those schools, well, let's just say, I'm sure the principal wasn't too happy about the things I was saying to people who I'm sure just ran their mouth. And, but everything's meant to be, and that's part of your suffering tribulation. And so when I went to the new school, I was like, Facebook's going to be nice. I'm going to be nicer. I'm going to change. Matter of fact, my second wife, the October 28th, she, we were discussing it and she was like, well, you might want to, be a little less, or I said, I think I might want to be a little less abrasive on social media and this and that. And she was like, yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. And so, because she works in the industry also, just much higher than I am. So there you have it. I mean, I don't know what brought all that up though. Inglewood, Great Pyramid, Queens, global currency reset. Yeah. Anyway, don't know where I was going with all that. This is what Steve Schmidt said that was very interesting. He said the ice cracking, when I said he had a really good comment, the ice cracking scene could be mocking where Peter walks on the water to Jesus, but looks down and starts. That's what I was getting at. When they told us to stay in our homes and cover our faces, that's when Michael was absolutely sure to no longer trust the political system on any level. And that's when I went back to turning my social media upside down, ringing the bell, running my mouth at the new job, you know, even though they were sending us home. I was telling them, let me tell you what this is. And so anyway, Marion Air disaster, Senator John Hines air crash. He was saying that those crashes were staged events, more than likely. And April 4th, 1991. And they're featuring a first aircraft, second aircraft. Oh, they collided with each other over the school where Kobe Bryant went and wore the 33 jersey, I think is what Michael told me on the phone. What high school did Kobe Bryant go to? Marion High School. That's what Michael's telling me. And there was an air disaster right over it. And of course, Kobe's thing was supposed to be an air, which Michael and I both agreed was hogwash. No way. That's fascinating stuff, Michael. I mean, seriously fascinating. I didn't know anything about any of that, so good job. This channel though, y'all have got to go in there and watch stuff. The last one was on Donnie Darko. It was a month ago. 18 minutes. Just like Angel White, they use the same shots, the same material. These are AI sites. This is artificial intelligence doing this stuff. And they always give you the really dark print down here. And yeah. Very interesting. They're just AI sites. They're not hurting anybody, so they can do it. They cannot manifest and do things to us yet. But can they go make AI sites? There it is, Lower Marion. We're in the 33. Fascinating. And see, his plane went down on the 26th. We got 2 more minutes to the 26th, don't we? 33 popped up. Did y'all see that? So he was meant to be who he was day one. And there's no telling how they do this. There's just no telling. But there's a lot of spirituality to it. But there could also be other things with it. I'm just not real sure how they do it. But I personally watched somebody be born that met him and played basketball almost on that exact level and is an NBA Hall of Famer. And I'm still, you know, they would always go back and call you a friend. But I mean, the famous basketball player, he called me on the cell phone one time. He was at a football game. He said, yeah, get Trey on the phone. But me and his dad used to just run. I was a best man in his dad's wedding. .101 and 15th. Oh, 101, of course, is their number. Jockin and Boaz with the sun in the middle. And it's kind of giving you the 101 symbolism of their Illuminati club. But there's the 15th again. It was 15th anniversary special. So again, you have to look strongly at that whole January 15th again, which is coded in the Dark Knight Rises. So lots of clues, lots of tells in all different kind of directions. We just gotta go with every one of them. Michael sent me the picture of his what he would say is the most accurate flat earth map. And he says we are surrounded by a gigantic ice wall, which I of course agree with. And yeah, very fascinating. I like it. Thank you for sharing. What did I get this from? This was a thumbnail. I am iPad, go to revised. It was 602 minutes long. And that's the exact angle with the staghorns over Trump's head. Did I hear that train go off right at event 201? Now 201, what was it I thought of? It could be the second day of the first month, which takes you all the way back to Donnie Darko. There's a 21. What did I think of? Something popped in my head and I can't remember what it was. Of event 201. Anyway. So you get the little girl. Right there. Or Lily, they call her. Guess she's not a little girl. I don't know. That's the Trump exit. Exit. Depressed. That could mean 12 days after New Year's. I mean, ball drop. I mean, I don't know. So there it is. What I wanted to look at was the thumbnail that the AI, oh, that was from Angel White, the thumbnail was, which is an AI site. And I wanted to look and see what they used for a thumbnail. Didn't look like anything I'd ever seen in iPad Goat. It comes close, but I never felt that that was the real angle. And you look at that angle right there. She's looking up. Is it me, y'all, or does it not look like, I mean, obviously it's cut off, which you can do with thumbnails. There's the yellow background right above the head. There's the yellow background right above the head. It just, maybe that's it right there. Or maybe I went a little too far. The angle just looked like it was a little more to the right here than it is here. Like, in other words, it looks like the camera angle, this is more, a little more in front of her, and this is more, a little more to the side. And that could all just be in my head. It just looked weird to me. It didn't look like the same shot. Anyway, moving forward, please. Back to the Future note so far, it's 15600 long for Super Bowl 56. I mean, straight up. Opens with ticking clock sound, just like Pink Floyd's song Time. Brown Mansion Destroyed is the big headline. Time as a song on Dark is a song on Dark Side of the Moon. I've always texted that. That also has the same, has the song called Money. Brown Mansion should be looked at in gematria along because it's destroyed. So in other words, does Brown Mansion come to Donald Trump or does it come to United States, right? And set your hands. Set your fingers, I mean. Ooh, it's got the 13 and the 33. Maybe that's why. And Ashley Judd used to have a crush on United States. So Brown Mansion destroyed, United States is destroyed. I knew Trump or Brown or United States would come right up. And look at this, November 11. For the, oh, I'm thinking of 11/17, my bad. Wrong. Anyway, you got Happy New Year. And you've got United States. You also got the Mississippi where they think another earthquake will go off. You got the Four Horsemen. All of that for Brown Mansion destroyed. United States is destroyed during the Four Horses. It's fascinating, isn't it? That's what they have on the headline, Brown Mansion destroyed. What's destroyed? Brown Mansion. What is Brown Mansion? Well, it's United States. United States destroyed is what it said. And it coincides with the Four Horses. Or Four Horsemen. I mean, that was just in the first view. It was so funny. I used to think this was the gematria search, and Michael goes, actually scroll at least 3 or 4 times. I'll never forget that. I felt so stupid. That's why Michael's our guy. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating though, isn't it? But Dinty Moore coming up to Donald Trump, and Dinty Moore was in the shooter. He was shooting the cans. Movie shooter target practice, Dinty Moore can. I don't know. That's what he was practicing when he was going to practice. He was blasting a Dinty Moore can. Dinty Moore can used in the movie Shooter. uses to shoot a can of Dinty-Moore right there. Trapshooters.com. No muzzle brake on 50 used in shooter. The rest of the movie was 408. What is the gun he shoots the Dinty-Moore beef stew can with? And Dinty-Moore comes to Donald Trump. Insane, isn't it? The clock tower stops at 10:04. 10:04 means yes. It's called Enchantment Under the Sea Dance. Or just plain Enchantment Under the Sea. You can leave off dance. Dance is what it is, but it's called Enchantment Under the Sea. That might be something to gematria. I don't really know what we're looking for anymore at this point. We've got enough tells already on 10,000 things. I mean, but Michael and I do this for fun. It just kind of keeps us focused. I like that 121. Hey, it's what time it is. There's a 12.2 on a tag that ran today on a global news, which of course is your date that we think Trump would go down on that Saturday. It is the 33rd day through the portal, is the 43rd day of the year. And it is the New York City area code. So, man, if you had to start putting them in order again, where would I be? I'd probably go with number one with that one. I don't think they're going to waste that Super Bowl. I think they love ushering things in with music and all of that. I don't think they're going to pass up on that. It was Twin Pines Mall at 1:15. At 1:15 on January 15th, the Twin Trumps are still up. Then it switches to 1:16. So on January 16th, he's still up. Now, does he get hit on the 15th and die on the 19th? I hypothesized that one with Michael on text. Biff goes over, grabs the M&Ms, which stands for Master, M-A-S-O-N, and he looks at Michael J. Fox and gives a wink and a smile. Perfect. Because Trump is, of course, that. Biff, the sun god. The first time you see Biff in the movie, it is at 12:22. And that is the day the sun begins its rebirth. The darkest day of the year is the day before. That is, I stopped it on the exact moment that you first see Biff. That was the exact moment. But when I did, put the time on there so you could see the time also in the other photo, which would then take out his head. And of course, I cropped it, but I wanted you to see the 12:22, which is the rebirth of the sun. It's very interesting how he hit right then. And immediately, the first police car at Michael J. Fox's, it's got my second and third marriage number there. And don't forget, on 12/12, and my son's name spells out Tully, which spells out 2021 12/12 525. And the 52nd day after, remember that 12/12 was 52 days after my incident, which occurred on 10/21, which is the exact same day. They both lend themselves through the portal to April Fools. It was the exact same day that the guy that imitates Trump had his shooting incident. God, what is his name? I could even picture his name, but can't read it. It's right there. Yeah, my crazy day was the same day Alec Baldwin had his crazy day, and 52 days later was my next crazy day, where my son and his new bride they just lost their minds. And that was 52 days. They were 52 days apart. And 52 days after that again will fall on Groundhog Day. So the cause, though, of the first incident for me was the 20th, so it would be 53 days later. The next progression would be 54. Yeah, I was trying to go progressions, but no, 52. And then 53. 53 days after the 52552 event of 1212 would put us on February 3rd. And if you remember what they pointed to in February 3rd was, he says on Groundhog Day, what would you do if a bomb exploded the following day? A bomb exploded tomorrow, which tomorrow after Groundhog Day is February 3rd, which is a day we just have to look at. I mean, it'll be a day we look at, and we'll be 53 days after my event that happened 52 days after another event. So and there's that 35 up there. See that 35? And that's my son and I combined. How funny is that? Because he is 10, 22. Whoops. 10, 22, 1983. 7661, it comes to 82362. And combined, he and I do form that 35. And me and his mom got married on March 12th. It sits right in the middle of he and I's number. And you look at that March 12th, 1983 date, the day I was born, the number for it, you guessed it, got an 88 on it. The heck? It's got an 88 on it. That's just fascinating. And then my next marriage, I was her 88 as far as marriage progression goes. And it was the next progression. I got married on July 14th, which is the next progression from 713 is 714. And I was her 88. In other words, my first marriage was already pointing to my next marriage. I don't know. It's pretty freaky. It's super freaky now. Just some little things in the movie that's my number 823. Like 7 times 6 times 1961. My first 3 digits are 823. And I've told you they're trolling us, and that they've probably always been trolling us. And I love you comes to 143. 143, I love you, because I has 1 letter, love has 4 letters, and you has 3 letters, and that the universal number for I love you is 140. Why does 143 stand for I love you? And I always used 143 as meaning the 1 for Trey. 1 for Trey times me times my number. It came up to the Wolf full moon number and Trump's penthouse number. And look at all the 7s. Well, when I met my second wife, that was her address. So I was like, well, God, that's just telling me she's the one for me, because she lived at 117 Whittier Lane. And that's it. Well, it's this one over here to the left. It's giving you that one. No, wait, that is hers. from that angle, that's what the garage looks like from that angle. That's it. That's 117. I would have rather seen it from a different angle. But that's the house. Got a front door. Oh. That is the house. Twice. They're showing you this side of the house. That's the house right there. I do not think that's the one next door. How confusing. That's so crazy, isn't it? But yeah. So that told me she was the one for me. 555, my third marriage number. Got a license tag in Back to the Future. 1988. JVB in the middle. Wait a minute, 1:15 in the morning? Yeah. So Trump's going down on January 15th in the morning. Is what they're telling you. Can you meet me at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15? When he blasts the speaker, it's at the exact 4:15 mark. 4 FOR, January 5th or the 15th. Again, the movie is 156 in length. That could be a blast that takes place on February 15th. Like La Palma after the Trump weekend. This is an interesting clock when all those clocks were, they showed all these clocks with the 753, my third marriage number, but they showed this clock. It's a 10-hour clock. And it's at 8. It's at 88 because between 8 and 9, if you were to go 10 clicks, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, all the way to 8.9, that's around the 8.8 range. So it's 8, 8. Or just 8, 8 because it's in between. You haven't got to the 9 yet, so it's 8, 8. Either way you want to look at it. I thought that was pretty strange. Another one of the clocks had the Denver Broncos on it, which is who Doug Williams beat. And Doug Williams was encoded. They showed a real slow motion video of Doug Williams and Donnie Darko. Real slow motion. Number 17, he's dropping back. Well, he was the MVP in the Super Bowl that was played in 1988 on January 31st. Which is New Year's Eve for the Chinese New Year. And it was one of my big high watch dates. And will be when the time comes. Guess I had sent that twice. I guess I had sent all these twice. Tim Tebow wearing the black and white checkered flooring. Already went over that with y'all, didn't I? I think I've resent all these. The gematria for February 12. Order out of chaos. 15th January. So the 12th bangs off of the 15th, which they've coded. In other words, two different codings that they're giving us. They're giving us January 15th and The Dark Knight Rises, because when he holds up the cowl with the right eye glowing, it literally is at the 1 hour, 15-minute mark. And February 12th comes to that. So they bounce back and forth to each other. I don't know what to say. They're giving us all these different codes. And we know that Donnie really died in the movie on October 2nd. And that January is the complete overlay of that month. And in the movie Donnie Darko, they featured Doug Williams, who won his Super Bowl in the month of January. So they're really telling you January. And since Donnie died on the 2nd, I think Trump will die on the 2nd. But I also think he'll die on the 3rd, or the 5th, or the 7th, or the 8th, or the 10th. Maybe the 12th. But definitely the 15th. Definitely the 19th. Definitely the 31st. February 1-2 comes to A Storm Approaches, Trump Towers, plural, which there are no Trump Towers. He does have various towers throughout the world, I think. But that's the twin Trumps when you plural it like that. And it comes to Trump Towers. And February 1-2 also has the 188. And it has the 121 for May 8th, the day Earl was killed. With a 22, or with a divorce date, or with a Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day being my divorce date, that was when the 88 was ended. I was no longer her 88. Is that the day he goes down? Well, it's on a Wednesday for the train wreck. February 1-2 comes to A Storm Approaches. Yep. If he goes down on that day, the 4 horsemen are approaching. Well, the first horse would have already arrived, which kicks off the next 3 horses, which is the storm. War, famine, and death to 2 billion due to the war and the famine. Trump Towers, plural, going down, and President Drumpf. February 12th comes to giant red wave coming, Aleister Crowley, Canary in the Coal Mine, the 4 Horsemen, coronavirus, China, September 12, January 30. January 30 is October 30 on the overlay, or when they say that's the day the world will end. So it's also a day he could go down, January 30. That's it for everything, I think. Super Bowl Sunday. Look where I stopped it, 2:12. Thank you, Holy Spirit, if you were giving us a tell there. If I were to look at one more thing, don't forget to subscribe, but they haven't put anything up in a while. But if you click their playlist, you're going to get a lot of stuff. 119. There's a school bus right there. 18 videos on 88, 14 videos on Trump in their playlist. 39 videos on Sirius the Dog Star on their playlist. Check it out. I am absolutely sure this is an AI site. It's too perfect. Don't be too perfect or I'll be able to tell your AI. Especially if you never speak. That's too perfect. That's way too perfect. I'm leaving that up because I'm going to like it and view it on my other channel. I did want to look at Brown Mansion. Oh, we already did. So which to go with, the Fahrenheit 11.9 thumbnail or the other thumbnail? Which I don't even remember what it was. The Land of Wolves. See, it's that wolf full moon all the way up until the 15th, and then you get a new full moon. But actually, it's at the new moon when you get the wolf full moon, and then the new moon begins on February 1st. That'll be for the snow full moon of I Pet Goat. Which thumbnail? This one or that one? This is more Super Bowl. Where are y'all leaning? Super Bowl or the 19th? And don't forget, the Dark Knight Rises coded with 121. He would rise on the third day after the 19th. And they're giving you Fahrenheit 119 right there. It's so hard to figure. I just cannot picture them letting that Super Bowl go. And there won't be a Super Bowl if he goes down on the 19th. I don't think. Could they slow play everything? I guess they could. Through Groundhog Day and other events take place in the Super Bowl, and then boom, everything happens. I don't know. I don't know. I've never used this one before, so I'll use this one. All right, love y'all. Thanks again, Michael, Jamie, Steven, everybody.